Jennifer, not my Jennifer, different Jennifer. This is Jennifer Ray, she's Jennifer Gray, and it's still really confusing just with the one letter off. But coworker Jennifer came to me at some point and said that there was a train robbery excursion on that she was going to, and wanted to know if me and Jennifer wanted to come along. And we were like, sure.
I can figure out how to get my phone.
So on the day of the excursion, we show up to the Central Tennessee Railway Museum. And me and Jennifer actually showed up first, which that by itself is something crazy, because anybody that knows me, especially, not so much Jen likes to be on time for things. But me, I kind of perpetually run late.
That's cool, isn't it? Didn't you see Charlie Ray having something like that? There's a dragon on top of the thing there. You see the one that's moving, Dee?
It's a train!
Uh-huh. We're going to find our cart now, right?
Yes, I assume so. I don't know, I'm just walking with the crowd.
You're just walking with the crowd? You're being a sheep?
It's too early to be a leader.
That's fine. Tennessee.
Actually, I believe we ran into Chuck and Brian first, and then shortly after, Jen and Jennifer and Laura caught up with us shortly after that. So the whole group was together finally. So we went and climbed on the train together. We were all in the same car, but because of COVID-19, there was all kind of distancing regulations going on. So in sort of one area where you would normally have 4 people sort of squished up together, they were just doing 2 people to that same size area. So me and Jen sort of had 4 seats to ourselves. Same with Chuck and Brian, they had sort of 4 seats to themselves, and Jennifer and Laura had like 4 seats to themselves. So everybody kind of was able to distance a little bit. And of course we all wore masks and everything in the process, but you know, so masks and the distancing, sort of some of their safety precautions that they were taking.
Where are we?
In Nashville?
We are in Nashville, indeed.
Are you filming?
Yes. We are at the Tennessee Central Railway Museum. The Tennessee Central Railway Museum. We're doing a train robbery excursion. We're gonna be leaving pretty soon. And Jen's excited because she loves a good train ride. I'm excited because I love a good robbery. So there's something for everybody here. We'll see how it goes. I might just join a gang today. It's hard to say. It's early in the day. We'll find out. You enjoying your train ride so far, Jen?
So amazing. I love it so much.
Here comes Brian. You requested help, sir?
Calm down.
Just a pleasant little ride. It didn't take long though before we got started that we got bored of just sitting and staring out the window and got up and started to move around the cars, because you were able to get up and move around.
It was a shit show.
A shit show.
Yeah, there was definitely.
Alright, so we're in a different car now. We've gotten up and wondered. We were looking for the dining car and we found one. This one does not have as much food as the other one, so we're going to go back the other direction. Are you ready to travel back through between the cars?
Yes.
That's very exciting.
It is very exciting.
Alright, you ready?
It's horrifying.
This is a nice empty, like we could all come down here and sit. It looks like not a whole lot of people are chilling in the dining cars. We all wanted to sit together.
I completely understand why they have to put no smoking, because it's definitely smoking cigarettes.
Alright, here we go. We're going to a fun house. Alright.
only car that was super densely populated was the food car, because everybody wanted snacks once we got underway. But once we got past that, everything was pretty chill and not super packed.
Like it?
Cool. Get a picture.
Let's drop your phone.
That is super cool, man.
Yeah, don't drop your phone.
Right?
So as we were exploring the car, we eventually came to, I mean, whenever you go from car to car, obviously, there's a little section where the cars are connected and you're moving through. And it's, I don't want to, you're not like out in the open, obviously. There's like a little connection between the two, but it's sort of like this little place in limbo between the cars that you walk through. And in most of the cars, that little limbo spot was pretty small. You just sort of walked in and out a door and you were in another car. But there was a couple of them that were a little wider. And I think if I know anything about trains from Charlie Ray at all, I'm sure that the wider ones with the windows are so that the engineers can stick their head out and give signals to people in the front or the back or whatever. So we did run across one in our exploration where it was wider and there was a window and there was people looking out the window, and I got so excited. Like, I really wanted to look out the window and do what everybody else was doing. But unfortunately there was like an engineer or something doing something there at the time, and I thought for sure that we weren't going to be allowed to, that was just something that workers were supposed to be doing and not us. But I really wanted to because he was doing it. But I left it alone to begin with because I didn't want to get us kicked off the train, or thrown off the train, or whatever. Or arrested whenever the marshals show up because we're gonna get robbed eventually. I don't know how the whole thing was gonna go down.
Hopefully the train would turn. That'd be cool. You can see the front of the train.
Yeah.
Alright, there's me and Chuck hanging out in the train. Why is there a tear in here? Hey! Oh look, they waved! Maple Crossings. Oh look, there's the train. That's when you need your picture.
So fast forward onto when we're getting closer to Watertown now, and we're informed about a mile from Watertown that we were about to get robbed. So they stopped the train to let the robbers on, which again I thought was a really bad move, because on foot they're no threat. You just keep on going. If you're going fast enough, it's not like they're gonna be able to jump on that easily. And if they're standing in the middle of the tracks, just don't stop the car. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the fatal flaw here, the reason that we got robbed in the first place is because they stopped the train. They just really shouldn't have stopped the train. And then we all would have been fine. They didn't have horses. They didn't have motorcycles or hot air balloons or whatever it is people use to rob trains with. They didn't have any of that. They were just on foot. So that's really, I feel like management really let us down on that one.
Robbery, cash money. Who wants the money?
I don't have any money, but I've got Brian.
Give me some money.
You don't look concerned.
I have no
Looking for
money.
this one.
Does it look like this one?
You know what? That first one might be him. It could be. Well, no, maybe not.
Get out of here.
Here.
Are you gonna put it in his chaps, Chuck? Stick it in his holster. Uh-oh.
Did you get your money yet? Did you get his money? Did you get his money? Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Make it out with that ball. Okay. All right, here we go. I
Uh-oh.
got a fistful of dollars. And hang them high, right? All right. Ooh, it feels a lot better in here. Oh, now wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't like sheriffs.
They keep trying to put a rope around my neck or something.
Ooh, it's a good thing Chuck paid him off.
Right? We
Look
didn't
at
get
Chuck
bothered.
and Brian over there, y'all. I know, I nearly got the vapors too.
Ping, 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 ping.
Did Jennifer and Laura survive? There she goes with her parasol. There's holes in the top. How does that even help?
It's a parasol.
Isn't it supposed to block the sun?
You need some air movement.
She just got a really big Queen Anne's lace and then put it on a stick.
Just put it on a stick. Chantilly.
So either way, several robbers got on different cars and they went up and down the train. They were hollering about treasure, and I was really confused because I thought that it was pirates that looked for treasure, but in this particular case, the train robbers were very into treasure for some reason. So I'm thinking that these guys, maybe these guys were ex-pirates and have decided to come on land to try their hand at train robbing. It could be why they didn't have horses or hot air balloons or anything. I think that seems like the most reasonable possibility to me, that they were ex-pirates that tried land pirating and they're just not real good at it yet. So, yeah. Either way, they came through and they robbed folks. They were looking for this treasure. Who knows if they ever found it? Maybe they did. I don't know. Eventually, the train started rolling again, and the robbers were still on it. So then we were trapped with the robbers for like another mile before we got to Watertown.
They're taking my virtue.
Oh. Did you have that?
Did you have that, Smith?
I did.
When you got on the train?
Oh, am I going inside?
So when we were in Watertown, everybody got off the train and like ran into town pretty fast. But us, we were taking our time walking, and so we walked into town, and we missed like the big shows that they did. We heard the gunshots. They were shooting up all kind of things. I mean, there was lots of shooting going on and hollering about treasure. But I didn't see any blood. So I'm thinking this is one of those cases where they're doing a lot of shooting, not a lot of actual people being shot. It was mostly just a threat, I think, just sort of shooting their weapons, being like, don't make me shoot you or whatever. I don't know. So I think that they eventually got their treasure, because I think I remember seeing somebody with a treasure chest at some point, and they gave it to some kid, which they looked so hard for this treasure, and then they gave it to a kid. It seemed like a waste to me.
Oh,
there's
they
the gold.
found their gold. Now are they gonna fight over it?
What would they do if I ran over there and grabbed that right now?
Please do.
Oh my.
Okay. Whew, I have vapors now. It's gonna be empty.
They should have just grabbed the treasure chest and run instead of hanging out and opening it in the middle of the street like that. It's reckless. I really would have expected more out of pirates, to be honest, but land pirating is different from sea pirating, so I guess it's just they were struggling all around. So we ate while we were in Watertown. We and then we wandered back towards the train. We whenever it was time to go, the train took off, and we just rode the opposite direction back into town.
Track police nowhere.
Did you find the one you were looking for? Oh, that one there? With the knife hanging right off his buttocks?
Yeah.
Ooh. You did that on purpose to draw the eye there, I think.
Right. Bullseye.
Alright, we're in between cars. We're gonna look outside. I would probably do it again. Maybe a different theme, but I'd train ride again for sure. So, yeah, join us next time when something else is gonna happen. And sorry that there was no Jen for some of this. She probably had a whole other take on what she felt about the train ride. She was there when it happened, and she experienced things, but she's not here to tell us about it currently. So this is what you get. You just get me, and you get Biddy.